Well, I haven't been out in the shop for a few days. It was just, the weather was so nice out that I was doing yard work and, you know, getting the garden ready, and started way too early. I should have known better. It was like close to 80 degrees. It was mid 70s, close to 80 degrees out. So I got the itch. But now, today, after, well, back here and I'll show you. But after the last front went through, it's no longer 80 degrees. It's like snow again. I mean, it's not that I don't like the snow, but I was getting ready for summer. Anyway, I'm going to try to do some work out in the shop today. Okay, I think I'm going to sit down, and I've been meaning to, I bought the paint a while back and primer, self-etching primer for painting one up. I think I'm going to sit down today and do some masking. Plus, I went to the hardware store and I bought Corian cutting board that I'm gonna use to mount the motor to, and then hopefully build a box. Me and wood don't get along. I'm not a carpenter, and when I work with wood, I tend to not do very well. But I'm going to attempt to build a box according to what the plans are, and I like the way that looks with Corian on top and then the box underneath it. And plus, that I can put my ignition module and stuff in the box underneath. So, a good storage area. But anyway, yeah, this cutting board. I bought one earlier when I was doing spark plugs and hacked it up into strips, and if I would have been thinking, I would have only hacked up half of it because I didn't need to cut up the whole thing, and I would have had a board for mounting. But no, I cut it up and all into square strips. So I got plenty of white spark plug material. This here is not white; it's kind of like a gray speckly. I don't know if you can kind of see what it looks like. So I think it'll look alright. But yeah, I'm going to sit down and do some masking. I'll show you, before I paint it, I'll show you how I got it all masked up. And I'll show you the end product. Because I plan on painting GM orange color. So I don't know how that's going to look. If I don't like it, I'll paint it black. I'm going to start out with the GM color, and then one of them, the one that I already have kind of put together here, that one is not going to get painted. This one here is not going to get painted. It's, I'm going to leave it the way it is, except for I really don't like that. It just, to me, it looks out of place. It just, to me, it just doesn't look right. I'm going to cut it off, cut the lettering off, and then I'm going to polish it like the other side did. And I actually polish it, maybe even clear coat it, so that it stays. I've clear coated a few items, and if you don't bang them around too much, it'll stay. But if you bang them around, they'll start. That clear coat doesn't want to stay attached. So, you know. But anyway, that's what I have planned for today, and I'm going to go and sit down and do some masking. Okay, I got it all masked up and built myself a little paint booth, Walmart paint booth special. It's all I got is basically a Walmart box, and I put a heat lamp on it and vacuum cleaner hose up in the upper right hand corner to suck away the overspray so it doesn't just float about the shop. It's not a whole lot to it, just like I say, just a box. And I got it all masked up here. It's warmed up now, and basically hooked the whole vacuum cleaner hose to the back of it. So I am going to use that as my little paint booth. Yeah, like I say, it's a Walmart a Walmart box, and just cut a hole in the bottom and clamped on a heat lamp. So we're gonna give her a coat of primer. That is, if I can find what I did with it. Oh goodness. And it looks like it's gonna take some shaking. I'll come back to it when I get a coat of primer on, show you what it looks like. Okay, I got a coat of primer on. Just turn that off. Got a coat of primer on it. Don't look like I have too many runs. I don't think I got any runs in it. I hope. I do have wet sandpaper. If I get any runs. But I'm gonna give her a couple coats of that primer. The booth actually worked pretty dang good. All the overspray got sucked right up in that corner right away into the vacuum, and from there, it's in the vacuum. So instead of floating around the shop, but I'm gonna let this sit under the heat lamp here and give her a good dry between. I'm not sure what its recoat time is on it. Let's see if I can read the small print here. 15 minutes. So I can recoat in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 2 to 3 hours before if I do any wet sanding on it. So I will sit here and wait for 15 minutes. I'm going to sit and watch the paint dry. Okay, I'm back out here. Everything's all kind of dried up. Should be good enough to wet sand. I only want to wet sand one side here. It's got a little bit of chatter marks in it. I'm going to try to get rid of that with wet sanding it. It looked like it was pretty nice outside, so I went and took my brat for a walk while it was drying. It was not a nice walk. Going against the wind was pretty cool. Coming back with the wind was all right, but boy, it was a cold walk going. So I'm going to dig out some wet, dry paper right here and make myself a little sanding block, and I'm going to wet sand that at my bench here, and I'll get everything set up for that, start wet sanding it. And try to get, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of hard to show, but there's right down this edge here, I had a long cutter when I was milling that, and I got a little bit of chatter there. I suppose I could have sanded it out before I painted it, but I figured I'd just, prime it a couple times and wet sand it and get rid of it. So basically cover it up. So anyway, I'll get back to it. Okay, I cut a strip of wet sandpaper, and I got a little plastic block. I put some double back tape around it. I'm going to try to just make myself a quick wet sanding block that way. I'll take the protective coating off of the tape here and see if I can get this to stick to it. Should stick to it just fine. And right there, I gotta cut it off. There, now I should be able to sand that. Sand this down. I want to get this area right here. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm gonna do. Okay, back up a little bit. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand right there, and I'm just going to use some Windex, and I'm just going to wet it down, wet my paper down, and basically just to try to smooth it out a little bit. Sometimes it don't take very much, and then sometimes it takes a bit. This end's starting to look a little bit better. I might have to go get some just plain water. I don't know if this Windex is going to do the trick. The Windex kind of makes it a little too slippery. I did have a jug of water out here. Yep. Always keep a little jug of water around. And just wet her down good. The bench is going to get all wet, but oh yeah, that makes a big difference. The Windex must make it a little slipperier or something. I don't know. It doesn't cut as good. Guess I could have started with a little coarser paper. I'm not sure what this is. 600? Yeah, 600 grit this is. Actually, I should have just a little tub to dip it in. I have an empty. Nothing wrong here. I'm gonna have a mess on my bench. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna have to reprime it. Already through the primer there. That's okay. That's what this is for, is just take off all the high spots. Like I say, this one side was like that. The other side's not so bad. I think I messed around with the feed rates on my machine, because I think I did this on this is a long time ago. I think I did that about 3 years ago, and I think that I done it on my. It was one of the first things I done on my CNC after I got my CNC machine. Yeah, it was a pretty cool walk. From being last weekend, it was almost 80 degrees out. I think today is 26. Big difference. Well, this is about as exciting as watching paint dry, isn't it? So I'm thinking I'm gonna stop the camera here and just continue. I'm gonna continue rubbing that down until I get her smooth, and then give her another coat of primer and then let her dry again before I go to the paint. Okay, I wet sanded it a couple times, and then I went ahead and gave her a shot of paint. You can see what it's going to look like here. gonna be like I said, a GM orange. So I'll let her sit there in a couple hours and under the heat lamp. I got a little heat lamp on it to keep her warm and toasted, so it'll dry a little quicker. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to look when I get done here. I think I am going to powder coat some of the smaller stuff. I powder coated the water pump already, and I think what I'm going to do is the brackets that go on the side, I'm going to powder coat those black. To me it's easier. Powder coating's a lot easier than trying to paint. Plus it's more durable. It's I don't know if I'm going to work on the platform today or not. I might just let this dry real good and then start assembling. I don't know if I'm going to put any paint on the heads or not. I think I'm going to leave them alone. The manifold, intake manifold, I got that painted black. I'll touch that up a little bit. It's got a few dings in it. I wish I'd have powder coated that, but maybe I'll strip the paint off of it and give that a powder coating instead. And then I'll start assembling. And once I get it assembled and I get the platform made, then I'm gonna put the cam in it and try to get the cam set correctly. I'm not sure if I'll get that done yet this spring yet, or wait until next fall. If the weather turns nice again, I have a hard time. I like working in the shop, but I have a hard time coming out in the shop if the weather's nice outside. If the weather's nice outside, I like being outside. Yard work and gardening, and it keeps me busy outside. So I don't get much done. I haven't been out here all last week because it was so nice. It was so nice outside that I just couldn't do her. Plus, I kept feeling like I was coming down with dang cold. So. And that's no fun. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'll check in again tomorrow after this. Like I said, I'm going to let this sit, and I'll probably let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning I'll come out and I'll start, putting pieces together and powder coating some of the smaller pieces. I might even powder coat those this afternoon yet. I got a little toaster oven in my powder coat unit, and powder coat them and then put them in a toaster oven at 500 degrees for about half hour, 45 minutes. I'm not all sure what all I'm going to powder coat. I know the side brackets here. Valve covers, I'm not going to paint those. Those are going to be polished. I'm going to cut the lettering off of the valve covers. I don't know. I don't like the looks of it. And I might do some, instead of raised letters, engraving on it instead. I'll polish it and then engrave it if I decide to do that. If I decide to do that, I'll take video of that. So until then.